What's up, Jake Hager? How's it going, man?
My man, I'm good. Thank you for having me, J-Dub.
Man, I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming on, man, for real. It's been a couple years since I've talked to you, man. Last time I saw you, man, I think we was both at the hotel after the fight, getting ready to head our separate ways. Man, tell me what's happened to you since then, man. I've been watching you, trust me.
Well, I'm glad to be on here. I think it's so cool that I can come on here and talk. Former gladiators in the cage. I definitely I learned a lot from you from that night, and it was a very big night for me. I went on to win 2 more fights that year, 1 more fight, and that other.
Oh guy. Yeah, no, that was a win. That's called a puss out. Yeah, that was a win all the way. Yeah, you won 2 fights that year. Man, I had an awesome year that year too, man. That was one of the it was the best year I've ever had in MMA. I went on to win 4 fights after I fought you. We won 4 straight. We got another Bellator bid right at the end of the year to go in 2020. Now, my first fight was in 2020 was on Bellator versus Davion Franklin. He came on here too. He's a cool guy, cool kid. He's young, boy. But yeah, man, that was kind of like that experience, man, was pretty surreal for this guy, man. It was definitely life-changing to say the least for me. I had originally just wanted to take, 1 pro fight before I, called it quits because I had so many amateur fights. And as the, the way things kind of panned out, first thing was, man, when I got on the plane, I was, I'd gotten over the whole excitement of the experience and everything. And, walking out there, man, the first time I saw the forum, bro, they took us right down to our dressing room. So like, I didn't get to take a peek outside and look at the crowd or anything. The first time, I never only ever fought in front of like maybe 2,000 or 3,000 people before that. And the first taste I got as walking out of the tunnel was a sellout LA forum, bro, with 40,000 people. And we beat out the Pico fight, dude. We 1.4 million. That was all me, but you helped a little. 1.4 million we had watching, and anyway, it was. I got back on the plane, man, and it was kind of like, man, I just got it was the high of being in the situation all week, and everything just kind of was coming down from all that. Man, I was like, just not. I didn't sit well with me. I was like, man, I got to go, but I felt like I didn't get to go for the right reasons. And I got back to Kansas City, and I went and talked to a UFC fighter and a coach who actually reached out to me when he found out that I had gotten the fight with you, and he'd give me access to the gym, basically my run of the gym. Zach Cummings, who runs Glory MMA in the Northland. I'd kind of been in and out of his gym a little bit. I worked for the railroad for a lot of years, so I didn't really get a situation where I was in a position to really do MMA on a more serious basis. So that's why I never went pro. Well, at that point I was kind of in the position to do it. I sat down and talked to him, man. And we both kind of, he let me know what he wanted to do. I let him know what I wanted to do. And, man, we set forth and that was to get back to Bellator for the right reasons. And I felt like we did that. But that's what that experience did for me, man. It was definitely life-changing.
I thought it was cool. One of the things I learned from you from that week was that first time that we met in the restaurant, and my coach was having me rib one of our teammates, so I was like down on the floor doing push-ups, and I kind of saw you in my peripheral as I went down, And then after that, you introduced yourself and you said, "Hey, man, look, I know we're fighting, but I can turn it on like a light switch."
Yeah, it's nothing personal.
Yeah, it's nothing personal. This is business, and I think you see that more and more of that with MMA fighters these days. And
man, if you can't respect the man getting in there with you, man, then you got some issues with yourself, I think, man.
Yeah, it almost I might be a little different, but it almost helps me sell the fight. It sells the fight to me better. Like I almost want to see two professionals go at it.
Yeah.
Two people trying to degrade each other. I just thought.
Well,
and then of course you brought up afterwards in the hotel lobby. Catalina still talks about what a gentleman you were and how friendly and just a good person. She always
Davion didn't know it. I was Davion's first MMA fight too. Now he's 25. Have you? Davion, he was like, man, I couldn't figure out why you're being so fucking nice to me, bro. I was like, he's like, blew me away. He's like, you're just being fucking nice, dude. I'm like, he's playing head games with me. Like, I was like, no, man, that's just how I am, man. I'm not an asshole, man. My wife would probably disagree, but
yeah, everyone does.
It just, man, to me, man, if you can't respect the man getting in the cage with you, man, then you got issues of your own, man, that you got to deal with it. In my opinion, anyway, the few people that I've ever, disliked in the cage, man, I've ended up walking out of the cage liking them. And like you said, like you just touched on, man, like it's more of you like to see two professionals go at it. Okay. So that's one thing I've been talking about on this podcast. And, I try to keep telling people that this is not an MMA podcast. This is an entertainer's podcast. Just, I kind of try to run it like Rogan. We're just having a conversation here. We can talk about anything you want. Now, it seems to always be MMA though. So anyway, the culture of MMA has changed so much, even in the last few years, man. I like to go back to when I first started fighting MMA, and that damn Frank Mir. You know what, Frank? I'm not going to forgive you till you come on the show. And then I'll forgive you, man. Like he's talking crap, dude. Like when I went up to the interview for the fight, man, they got me up in the hotel room, and of course I'm sitting, in front of the table with some MMA greats, man. John McCarthy and Frank Mir were there, and they're interviewing me for the broadcast, and I'm I told them, well, I go back to the Wild West days. Now this did not sit well with them. They were like, oh really? What would you call a Wild West days? And I knew right then I had already said too much. I was like, I don't think there's a right answer for this. Like, I told them that I started fighting and I started fighting MMA in 2007. And these guys were like, oh my God, are you? Well, yeah, John, dude, I don't go to 92, like you do, bro. Like, but it was unsanctioned. And now Frank pops off on the broadcast that it was like, I was fighting people in their backyard or something like, internet sensation shit. And I was like, no, dude, we had referees, we had cages. These were unsanctioned fights, but they were like smoker fights because Wyoming, Montana, and Colorado at the time were not sanctioned states, but they were still having fights there. So they were running with all the rules as normal people would, as normal MMA, UFC rules. But they just weren't sanctioned. They weren't keeping track of it on any kind of a database or anything like that. This is before MMA was sanctioned. They decided to come in and start kind of putting things in place because it was starting to get dangerous. There were promoters who were, ripping people off. There were fights that were just like, I got hurt. The only time I been knocked out was I fought a guy who, they literally pulled him out of the crowd. A guy had beer on his breath. It was a tag team MMA match. It was, it was crazy. And everybody, how do you fight a tag team MMA match? I said, bro, it was weird. We did it. You touch hands, man, and they'd stand you back up. You go from the stand-up position. But it was crazy. I broke my thumb and got knocked out. It was the guy was like, I don't know, Nebraska linebacker or something. I like took this big wild punch with my chin way up in the air, man, and he just came back and cracked me, and it was I was over before I knew it even started. It's boop. I was going, hi. Busy signal, man. And the guy's like, oh, fight's over. I was like, what fight? What are you talking about?
Well, next time that someone asks you about what are the Wild West days, just say, well, I fought in the tag team MMA match before.
That's what I told them, man. He still bashed me, man. So anyway, Frank Mir, you got one coming, man. You got to come do the podcast. So anyway, Yeah, they interviewed me, man, and you know that was I took it. They were on me, both of them, the whole time. It was I felt like, oh no, this isn't going to go well. And then sure enough, man, I heard the broadcast. I was like, God, these assholes, man. Like anyway, it was yes, I had I think I had 19 unsanctioned fights in the mountain region before I moved to Kansas. And that would have been in 2014, and then I've since then I've had almost 40 fights. So it's like yeah, man. There's just been a bunch. It's been a lot. I've been fighting every couple of months for as long as I can remember. So I don't really feel like shit. I mean, I got a hurt wrist now, but I mean, I think that's a pretty standard issue. I feel pretty good for my age. I mean, like, well, I know, like I've heard you some interviews where you kind of were concerned with the same thing. I'm going to do this as long as I can, and I've been saying that for 6 years, man, and it still feels good. Like, the Anthony Garrett loss was, man, it was probably one of the hardest losses I've had to take, just because I felt like I'd lost to a lesser fighter. But I mean, that's the thing I love about this sport, man, is that it can go that way. It only takes one mistake at our level, and that's the game's over. And
welcome to MMA.
Yeah, and then you're almost fighting yourself in there, man. It's if you don't got your head where it's supposed to be, man. Like you could very easily lose on something that if you ain't paying attention. Like the main thing I had a hard time dealing with was like I took an injury, and I'm not making any excuses. He beat me fair and square, but I took an injury about 3 weeks before the fight, and my coach wanted to pull me from the fight, and I'm like, no, like I'll be all right. Now this thing was pretty bad, man. Like it's definitely I should have listened to him. He's mad at himself because he let me talk him out of it instead of just putting his foot down. He's like, dude, you will not be talking me out of shit anymore. I'm just telling you right now. Like, so it just completely crippled my camp. The last 3 weeks where was gonna be going the hardest, I didn't really get to go live much. Rolling, I couldn't roll. This ankle was smoked, and it was I rolled it, and I lived it. He made me promise that I wouldn't miss any practices. So I came in there on that thing, and I'm rehabbing it like every minute that I'm not at practice. And man, I come in there limp in there with it, and just basically drive through it, the practice, and then go home and cry myself to sleep. I mean, it was bad. It was just dumb of me to not listen to him, because this isn't amateurs. This is a professional level. Like he knows best, man. And even though this man was just, dude, I've been sitting since freaking February, man. I was so excited to fight, and we're 3 weeks out, and I felt like I was going to murder Anthony. So like you said, welcome to MMA.
Yeah. It's one of the hardest things that I think a lot of people don't realize is the mental game and having to stay calm through adverse situations, especially training camp. Training camp is, to me, where you win the fight.
Absolutely.
You come out of training camp knowing win or lose, you put it all in there. And that really speaks a lot. Ankles, man, are so tough. It's one of those things where you just have to completely stay off them, and they have to get better that way. You can't go in there every day and expect it to get better. It's just going to do the same. My junior year in college, it was 2005 at Oklahoma, and I was going into the Big 12 tournament. It was like a month before. I suffered a high ankle sprain, and for a month, I'm trying to baby this thing and get it ready. I'm in a swimming pool doing trying to take the gravity off the ankle, and still, by the time that Big 12s came around, couldn't put a lot of weight on it.
I did home remedies and everything. The guys were saying wrap it in vinegar, like vinegar wraps.
Yeah.
Dip your bandage in vinegar, and I tried that. I mean, like, I don't know. I guess it kind of did something. I mean, it was. I was trying everything, because I definitely didn't want to back out. But yeah. If everybody doesn't know, Jake is an extremely accomplished athlete. Not just what he's done in the WWE and in Bellator, but he was a Division I All-American wrestler out of Oklahoma. It's right up the road from us. So. That's cool to hear about too. I got a lot of wrestling buddies that are like big fans of yours.
Well, thank you, my friend. It's been quite the journey, and it's just so cool to me that like something that I started when I was 5 years old, going to a YMCA, wrestling, that I was able to do and like keep doing all my life. I'm very lucky and very fortunate to be able to do this for a living.
How's the body holding up, man?
I'm a late bloomer. I really didn't get like
that's what I always say.
Ball until like 17, 18. Didn't really lose that old.
Dude, I was the last kid in high school to get puberty, bro. It was horrible.
Yeah. I got made fun of a lot. A big, tall, lanky kid, but I didn't have any hair in my armpits.
Yeah.
So the body feels good. I think a lot of developments have been made in rehabbing and taking care of your stuff. And I got this new machine, Rapid Reboot. It's a compression sleeves that I put on my arms, I put on my legs, and it fills up really tight and gets the old blood out of the muscles, and it really makes them feel better. So things like that I do. And then it's just one of those things. It's a tough sport. So kind of just have to bite down and go.
I would say if anything, it's like I feel pretty good. Like I'm definitely in the best like fight shape of my life, without a doubt. I mean, like I was probably in better shape as a 20-year-old, but I was like, I didn't try. Like I was just, hanging out and rocking abs. It was like, and now it takes a lot of work, and then they go away after a week if you don't stay on top of it. And the thing that I've noticed the most is probably, man, the joints, the joint pain, man. That's where I'm starting to feel like probably, I could definitely notice that side of it when it comes to training. And, the 20-year-olds that I train with, man, they're all bouncing around and just, it's like, it takes me an hour to get warmed up. Like, the coach is, Zach's such a good guy, man, and so observant that he sees that, that it takes me longer to get warmed up. I'm just kind of like, I don't know. It's, after I get warmed up, man, like I'm down, I'm throwing down with all of them, and we're banging it away. But I have to come in early and warm up to being ready for those guys.
I'm the same way. It's so funny you say that. I'm the same way. I have to have at least a 30-minute warm up, or I'm gonna get blown up. I'm gonna be breathing too hard, and it's just like I'll eventually get there, but those rounds won't be as high a level. I'm a real big second wind guy. I almost want to blow that first wad.
Same here. I don't even that first one is like hurts more, man. It's like it's harder on you. Once I get past that first one, I hit my second wind, man. It's like then now let's grind, and that's when I start doing work in the gym. And the kids start going, God damn, this 40-year-old old ass man, dude. Come on, man. Come on, nothing. We ain't done yet, bro. That's right.
I remember during our fight, and I was trying to close you up against the cage, and you pinged me with your hands, and then I got you up against the cage, and I was sitting there. I was like, "Did you hit me? That was fast."
Man, I was just like, man, I really wanted, like, I wanted to at least. I knew you were tough, dude. I knew you were tough, and you're a wrestler, and I like. I just didn't have that training regimen like I do now. Like I said before, I worked for the railroad, so I just bounced around from gym to gym. I found a home with Zach, and like we went into a complete, like, solid professional training regimen after that. And I'm like, okay, I want to get back there, and I know what that it's going to take this. So I committed, and that's what happened. But like, dude, back then I was like, dude, I just want to get a couple shots in. Like, yeah, you know what? I wasn't going at it. I wasn't taking like TJ's approach where I know I'm going to lose, but I got kids and da-da-da-da. No, man, I got 4 kids too, bro. Like, I took it as this, like, hey, man, he's a tough guy. Let's see if he can take a punch. And, that's where I like, man. And it was cool. Cause like, man, you're so not liked. And I don't understand, dude, there were so many people in the audience when I caught you that little clip. Man, they were just the crowd was pretty amazing, man. It's like a lot of them were pulling for me, man. I think you're probably used to that, but I always defend you, man. I'm like, a lot of guys come up, man, he's such an asshole, man. Was he a dick? I was like, not at all, man. I said the guy's actually a really nice guy, man. I said he's, I don't know why he comes across that way, or if he does it on purpose or what. But it's you're building up some hype.
Well, pro wrestling is a fun thing to be a part of. And
oh my God, I want to do that.
The best part is you can really take the emotions of our audience and on a roller coaster. This past year has been quite the roller coaster for me. Setting off by fighting you at the beginning of 2019, I signed with AEW, and we've been on.
What's AEW?
What's that?
What's AEW?
I
Can you explain that to everyone?
It's All Elite Wrestling. It's a pro wrestling show on Wednesday nights on TNT at 8:00 Eastern. We have been going on. We just had our year anniversary now. It's been an incredible run, and I've been a bad guy on that for the whole year, and I think that's where a lot of the hatred's coming from.
That's awesome, man. Like all I knew was like there was 40,000 people in the forum, and I bet that 90% of them were pulling for me. I was like, when I caught you, I was like, wait, hang on, man. I couldn't. I'd never heard a crowd that loud before, and it was just like, and it was really cool, man. It was a cool experience. It was like I say, like I was hoping I could at least kind of look cool. I was like, man, but you took me down right away. I was like, man, damn this guy, man. Just can I look cool for a minute?
Dude, I was scared of the cannons. All right, I wanted to be part of the feat at that time.
Oh, that's it. That Garrett, he was like, he was talking shit on his social media page about how he had really done well in boxing, and it looked like he had done well. So I saw him about a month before the fight. He came to a bare knuckle. So a bare knuckle fighting championship has been doing a lot of shows in Kansas because they've sanctioned it here. And I think that there's not a whole lot of states that sanction it. I don't know, but they've got a presence here in Kansas. And anyway, I went down they had open tryouts. Now I was going to try out, but then they asked me to come down and run a camera for them. I've since the COVID thing, I've kind of got into,
Smart man.
Yeah, to media stuff. I got the podcast going. This kind of stems off of what I did. How this all started is my kids and I were sitting in the house for the COVID quarantine, and I was like, you know what, let's make a movie. So we made a zombie movie, and the zombie dad movie. I'm in there acting like a complete retard, but we had a good time with it. Kids definitely be a memory they'll always remember. But we made this. We spent a month and a half, 2 months making this movie about this. This is the guy that gets COVID and then becomes a zombie, and I'm their dad, and it's like, and they're like defending me in this apocalyptic. We don't have it. Like, you don't have to watch it. It's pretty entertaining. The intro to that, I started out. I just wanted it to be at like a little like 15 or 20-second clip of just like seriousness, because I really took it seriously, because I wanted, I've always wanted to be a filmmaker, and I did take it seriously, and I took this section and it became 3 minutes long. this intro did. So the kids movie is at the end, and after the intro is a more of a serious look. At the time that I made it, everybody's feelings have kind of changed. I said we weren't going to talk about COVID, but here we are. My opinions and a lot of people's opinions have changed on the COVID thing. At the time, everybody was really scared and afraid, and they were, everybody was kind of living off of fear and staying at home. So keep that in mind if you watch it. That being said, it's on my Digital Alchemy page, YouTube, if anybody wants to check it out.
I definitely am.
So Bare Knuckle hires me to come in and do some videography for him. So I don't bother trying out. Plus, they'd already kind of offered us a contract, so I didn't know that I needed to try out. But anyway, it was really interesting because they had guys from all over the country. They had guys come up from Florida all the way to Washington State. They came down and they had, I don't know. There's quite a few people there. It was less than 100, but close. Chris Lieben was there. You remember him, the Crippler, if you remember him from the heyday of UFC. He was there running mitts and stuff. Anyway, so Anthony was there, and he did look pretty sharp, man. And this guy had lost 60 pounds since I fought you. Without a doubt. Dude, I almost outweighed him. I was like, whoa, dude. And see, we get your feedback. You still there, Jake?
Yeah, yep. Sorry, I had a phone call.
No, no worries. He's lost 60 pounds. He was, I think, 235 is what he said that day. I think he weighed in at like 240, 245 or something like that when we fought. I didn't even recognize him. I was just thinking to myself when I saw him that I was going to dump him in the fight. I was going to snatch him up and I was going to take him down and dump him, which I did. But anyway, it was extremely surprising that he lost so much weight. It was, yeah. I mean, like, I don't know what kind of diet he's on, but it's working, buddy, because he looked really good. I didn't recognize him. I lost my train of thought. What were we talking about?
I don't know.
I don't know either. So, man, my like assistant couldn't be here because she had to work. But she sent me like just kind of like a bio on you, man, and like I think she sent me every single word that's ever been written about you on the internet. I mean, this thing is just massive. Thank you, by the way, Maria.
I'm kind of scared.
Dude, no, I mean, like, I can't, like, I told her, dude, you're giving me too much information. There's like, you just cut it down. I just need a few things, like, in case there gets to be lag time or something. And well, my wife's messaging me too right now.
I do need to run here in the next 5 though.
Okay, yep. Let's wrap it up then, man. I don't know, your camera's not working, but if you want to give any shout outs, man, now's the time, brother.
I just want to say thank you for having me on, J-Dub. And if you guys want to watch some great fighting this week, Bellator 250, CBS Sports.
That's what I was going to get to next.
Yeah, the link will be up in my bio. You can watch there. I'll be in the prelims against 2-0 heavyweight. Hopefully, I can continue on where I'm at. And that's
he's an undefeated amateur too, right?
Yep, I think he's got like 9 straight wins. So
he's like I checked him out. Yeah, he looks like another puncher, man. So get in there with the clinch on him. Yeah, I watched the fight, his last win. Doesn't look overly technical, but definitely got some, got some power there. I'm sure you'll do fine, Jake. So that was what I was going to ask you. What are your thoughts going into that? We'll just do it real quick.
Yeah. Dude, I'm excited to get back in there. He's a big old boy, so I'm going to have to use my feet. I don't want to stand right in front of him, get off to a side, and then hopefully use my wrestling to get him off his feet. I'm excited to really showcase how I've improved and learn and get some more experience.
If you don't have any more shout outs, you got any more?
I'm good, bro.
Okay. If you don't have any more shout outs, man, I'll let you get going. Again, man, thanks for coming on, man. Hey, everybody, like, give this dude props. Like, he plays the bad guy, and I think he does a really good job at it. But in real life, he's just a softie. So, yeah, good dude. Good dude.
Don't tell people that.
Don't give him too much crap. And yeah, again, like, he came on to throw me a bone. So yeah, click like, click share, all that stuff that you do, and go to our YouTube page and subscribe. All right, Jake, we'll let you go, buddy.
Hey, J-Dub, thank you so much, man. Good luck, and you'll be back before you know it, I know.
Oh, yeah. Yep, we're already talking about it. All right, brother. Appreciate you coming on, man. All right, that was Jake, man. Super nice guy, man. I was looking for some popular guests that to have on here because this thing has taken off a little bit. I know I have a lot of guests on here that are popular in KC. Wanted to see if I could reach out to a more nationwide audience. So Jake agreed to come on. There will be more celebrities of his stature, or maybe even better, coming on soon. Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt. Man, you owe me, and I want to tell everybody why you owe me, because you misspelled my name when you posted me on your Instagram. This would have been the fight that I was at with Jake Hager, or against Jake Hager, the guy we just interviewed. Okay, I fought him in LA 2 years ago, and I met Chris Pratt. He was in the dressing room. We chit-chatted. It was a good time. Dude's a hell of a nice guy. It was nice enough to take pictures of me. Also was nice with me, not of me. That'd be weird. But like he was just a down to earth guy, really cool. He put me on his Instagram, posted me on his Instagram, and I'm trying to see if I can pull that up. And he misspelled my freaking Instagram name. Like, he's got 22 million followers. Bro, don't misspell me. I would have at least caught 50,000 off of that. Anyway, now you owe me, bro. So I'm gonna call you out every single show until you come on my show, man. Yep. I also got another guy that I'm going to try to get on here. and we got some UFC fighters that have already agreed to come on here. Some popular ones. We got Kevin Kroom coming up tomorrow. He's a brand new, just won his debut at the UFC. He took a last second fight, went in there, did well, was prepared when they called. Mr. Kroom, he's holy shit. I got 120 comments. Wow. Oh, I got Anthony talking shit. That's fine. Hey, we don't give a fuck about you, Anthony. Eat shit, bro. Hey, you'll get booted. I'll boot you right now. This dude's a fucking pussy, man. Hey, you're a pussy. You want to get on there and talk shit? 20. I should have looked. That's what my wife messaged me about. No, we ignored you, bro, because of that right there. Because you're a fucking idiot. That's why. Anyway, hey, have some class, dude. Don't talk shit after a fight. I got nothing for you. Anyway, back to the important shit, not fucking douchebags that want to fucking comment 100 fucking things on my goddamn wall. Retard. Anyway, we got UFC fighter Kevin Kroom, who just did something awesome. That was freaking won his debut UFC fight. Took it last second notice. Also, we have the James Krause. Now he hasn't told me when, but he will be on eventually. And then I gotta pull the card on my coach. My coach has got to be on here eventually. Zach Cummings, UFC fighter. We're gonna get all those guys on there. We're gonna keep the guest list as high caliber as we can. I'll have and business owners. Hey, if you guys want to come on the show and talk about some things, like holler at me. Let's do it. I'm cool with that. Like I think that if you're a business owner, man, now is the time for everybody to pull together and help out these small businesses around the country. And anybody that has a small business that wants to come on the show and talk about it, just give me a call. We'll do that. Other than that, guys, man, I hope you liked the show. That was cool with Jake. I enjoyed talking to him for the first time since our fight. Great guy. Good to see. Ignore the comments. I don't know why I see 120. I didn't realize it was fucking retarded ass fucking Anthony. Goddamn, man. Grow up, dude. Anyway, holler at me. Oh, yeah, I got to give a shout out to Access Rejuvenation. They are the show's sponsor. They do hormone replacement therapy, and they also do women's weight loss program that is like by far the best you can. It's scientific. You know what? Call them, because I'm going to have the owner on here next week, and he's probably going to chew my ass for saying stuff wrong. So I don't want that. I want to say everything right. So I'm going to wait until next week after he talks to me and tells me exactly what I should say. These guys, they do the weight loss thing. They do the hormone replacement thing. And then they have a program that is way cheaper than like doing it the regular way, which is through insurance and whatnot. So anyway, get with them if you're having those issues. Until then, I will holler at y'all.